The NTSB has released the prelim report on the LearJet crash on February 10th, 2025 that took the life of the captain. We'll go over it on this episode of Taking Off. Hi, I'm Dan Milliken, and February 27th, 2025, the NTSB has released the preliminary report on the LearJet November 81 Victor November that crashed on landing at Scottsdale Airport. Normally, NTSB reports, prelim reports, are pretty sparse on info, but this one actually has quite a bit of details. The report gives a summary that at 2:38 p.m. local time, the LearJet was substantially damaged as the left main landing gear gave way, causing the aircraft to veer to the left, eventually impacting another jet that was parked on the tarmac.
Citation 351 Alpha Juliet, Scottsdale Tower, good morning. Make a straight in for runway 21. Start spilling number 4 to the runway, following a Cessna turning base. 518 off Fox, Scottsdale Tower, hold short, runway 21. Aviator next 69, go around. Aviator 47, start a climb, go around.
The captain was fatally injured, and the first officer and one passenger were seriously injured. One passenger had minor injuries, and an occupant in the parked jet sustained serious injuries. What we know from the report is that the captain was the regular pilot and had been flying with the first officer consistently since June. They were transporting the passengers from Florida to Arizona that day with a fuel stop in Austin, Texas. The airplane turned on an extended final approach to runway 21 at Scottsdale Airport. The investigators got a hold of multiple camera angles, including numerous cell phone videos. A witness on a golf course that was under the approach path took some video that investigators are keying on. And that video is 11 seconds and was recorded 24 seconds from the touchdown. The left main gear can be seen trailing aft from what is the normal position. The report also points out a circular bright spot indicating the landing light from that left gear was illuminating the bottom of the wing. The NTSB reports that the airplane touched down on runway 21 just before the aiming point markings with the full flaps extended, all normal. Further down in the report, but I want to mention it here, the flight crew did not make any radio calls indicating that they were aware of any trouble. On the LearJet, the landing gear control panel is located the right side of the center instrument panel and has 3 unsafe lights and 3 green lockdown lights, and the gear selector switch is right there. It is not mentioned if they yet have any evidence of the status of the left main landing gear on that panel. And I'm sure a key thing the investigators will be looking at is what the gear indications were on the flight deck. Now, after touching down, the left landing gear collapsed and the aircraft veered left over a rock-covered runway safety area, exiting the runway surface. The LearJet then crossed taxiway Bravo and then collided with the windsock and entered the ramp area where it hit the right side of a parked Gulfstream G200. The LearJet was not equipped with thrust reversers and the drag chute was not deployed. From touchdown to stop was 20 seconds. The first responders were on site in 2 minutes. And the report talks about what happened immediately inside the jet. The right-seated passenger was wearing a seatbelt, and they regained consciousness first and woke up the left-seated passenger who had been thrown forward in the passenger cabin. That's another great reminder on the importance of seatbelts. The right-seated passenger was finally able to remove the right emergency exit, and now 10 minutes has elapsed since the aircraft stopped, and that passenger was able to egress over the right wing with the right engine still running, carrying 2 small dogs. She then went back and retrieved the second passenger. And 10 minutes after that, the fire truck spraying foam into the right engine was finally able to get it shut down. And the FO, the first officer, was removed from the cockpit and taken to the hospital. This prelim report goes into the construction of the landing gear and the condition it was found after the crash. The verbiage sticking out to me is that the NTSB is reporting there was an excessive amount of grease piled below the aft trunnion pin on the left main landing gear. This is what keeps it attached to the airplane. The same flight crew had a landing mishap 8 months prior in Oklahoma, and investigators referred to a video of that landing where the LearJet touched down short of the runway and bounced several times, and both left main landing gear tires blew. The pilot hired a mechanic to perform a hard landing inspection, and the mechanic testifies to the NTSB that he got a ferry permit to transport the aircraft to his shop, where he removed both mains and did eddy current inspections that were required. And this is where they check the metal to see if there's any cracks, tears, or weaknesses inside the metal. The NTSB then describes what the proper procedure is for the main landing gear inspection and rebuild, and they point out that the aft trunnion pin is not making contact with the aft trunnion fitting from what they found, and that they were aware of 3 other LearJet events where the landing gear had disconnected because the retaining bolt was not engaged through the aft trunnion pin. After that landing gear service of summer of 2024, another mechanic also performed landing gear servicing in December of 2024 and did not notice anything unusual, except remarking that the left landing gear took an excessive amount of grease. That's the prelim report. Very sad that the pilot passed away. And we know the plane was owned by Motley Crue's frontman Vince Neil, but he was not on the plane. We'll have more information when the NTSB completes the investigation, but that's probably a year out. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our sponsors like ClemensInsurance.net. They know how to go to bat for you to get those better rates with the underwriters. I've got links to them and our other sponsors below in the description. Remember, superior judgment trumps superior skill. Stay safe.